This isn't a James Bond villain. This isn't a fictional tech overlord. This is Larry Ellison, a man who didn't just build one of the largest software empires on the planet. He turned his billions into an ultra-exclusive lifestyle of real-life fantasy. He didn't buy a mansion. He built a Japanese palace. He didn't rent a yacht. He owns a 288-foot samurai-themed mega-yacht. He didn't invest in a vacation spot. He bought an entire Hawaiian island. And his obsession with power, privacy, and perfection? It's unmatched, even among billionaires. Larry Ellison doesn't just have money. He lives like an emperor. From broke to billions, the making of a tech warrior. Born in the Bronx to a single teenage mother, Larry was raised by his aunt and uncle on the south side of Chicago. He was brilliant, rebellious, and completely unimpressed by authority. He dropped out of 2 colleges, had no degree, no money, and no direction. But he had one thing: obsession. In 1977, he co-founded Oracle with $2,000 of his own money. His inspiration? A classified CIA database project. His strategy? Ruthless. He crushed rivals, absorbed failures, and became one of the most feared tech CEOs in history. By the 1990s, Oracle had grown into a multi-billion-dollar beast. And Ellison, now a billionaire, had his eyes set on something more than business: immortality through lifestyle. Mansions, mansions, mansions. A global real estate obsession. Ellison doesn't own a home. He owns dozens of them, but these aren't homes. They're statements. In Woodside, California, he built a $110 million Japanese-style compound, modeled after a 16th century emperor's palace. The estate includes a man-made lake, tea house, cherry blossom trees, and a full seismic retrofitting to withstand California earthquakes. In Malibu, he owns 12 beachside mansions on Carbon Beach, the most exclusive strip of sand in California. Cost? Over $200 million. He owns a $173 million Palm Beach mansion, a historic Newport estate, a mountain compound in Lake Tahoe, and commercial properties across San Francisco, Los Angeles, and beyond. His real estate portfolio? Estimated well over $1 billion, and growing. The Island Empire, Lanai, Hawaii. In 2012, Ellison made the ultimate power move. He bought 98% of the Hawaiian island of Lanai for $300 million. Yes, an entire island. With it, he gained control over 2 luxury resorts: housing, water, energy, agriculture, and even the local grocery store. His vision? To turn Lanai into a model of sustainability and maybe a playground for the elite. He spent over $500 million upgrading infrastructure, installing solar grids, revitalizing farming, and expanding high-end tourism. Locals call him a mixed blessing. Some say he's invested in the island's future. Others call it neo-colonialism. But the truth? He is Ellison's kingdom. The floating palace, super yacht, Musashi, named after a legendary Japanese swordsman. Ellison's 288-foot super yacht Musashi is a $160 million floating fortress of Zen luxury. It features a movie theater, a gym, spa, elevator, art gallery, and minimalist interiors straight out of Kyoto. It holds 18 guests and 23 crew. And yes, it has a helipad, because when you own a Hawaiian island, you don't sail, you arrive by air. Ellison once said owning yachts was his favorite indulgence. He used to own the Rising Sun, a $200 million mega-yacht, but sold it because it was too big to dock in some ports. Even his downsizing is extravagant. Private jets, fighter planes, tennis empires. Ellison owns a Gulfstream G650, one of the most luxurious private jets on Earth. But even that wasn't enough. He purchased a decommissioned MiG-29 fighter jet from Russia, one of the fastest jets in the world. The US government initially tried to block the purchase. Ellison, he flew it anyway. And then there's tennis. In 2009, he bought the Indian Wells Tennis Garden for $100 million. He transformed it into one of the most prestigious tennis tournaments in the world, often called the 5th Grand Slam. He didn't just want a luxury lifestyle, he wanted an empire built around his hobbies. The tech temple, Oracle's symbol of dominance. Ellison didn't just build Oracle into a software giant, he built a monument to his ambition. The Oracle headquarters in Redwood Shores, California, looks less like a tech office and more like a digital Vatican. Towering glass cylinders rise above a man-made lake, where Oracle's name is proudly spelled out on the water. It's not just symbolic, it's personal. This is where Ellison waged corporate war against Microsoft, SAP, and IBM, and often won. He built Oracle not just as a company, but as a fortress. And like every general, he made sure the world remembered who led it. Obsessed with immortality, life extension, and medical tech. But what do you do when you've already bought everything? You try to outrun time itself. Ellison has poured hundreds of millions into anti-aging research, funding everything from genetic reprogramming to disease prevention and life extension. He co-founded the Ellison Medical Foundation, focusing on age-related diseases and longevity science. He's backed biotech firms, AI-driven diagnostics, and personalized health startups, all with one goal: stay alive longer. To Larry, aging isn't natural, it's just another problem to solve. Legacy or control? The final chapter. So what drives Larry Ellison? Power, legacy, escape? Some say he's creating a utopia. Others call it a billionaire's playground. What's undeniable is this: Larry Ellison didn't just chase wealth, he turned it into a world built in his image. Every mansion, every jet, every island, every company, they all serve one vision: total control over his universe. And as he grows older, the question remains: is he building a legacy or just trying to live forever? Code Warrior, the CEO who never backed down. Ellison wasn't just a founder, he was a fighter. During Oracle's rise, he was infamous for late-night strategy sessions, brutal competition, and aggressive acquisitions. He challenged Microsoft in the courtroom, mocked IBM in interviews, and once tried to buy Apple, yes, Apple, in the 90s. His philosophy? It's not enough to win, others must lose. Employees described Oracle as a battleground. High pay, high pressure, and very little mercy. But that's what Ellison wanted. To him, the tech industry wasn't a marketplace, but it was war. Friends, foes, and frenemies. The tech inner circle. Ellison wasn't alone at the top, but he was rarely part of the crowd. His close friendship with Steve Jobs became tech world legend. Ellison once said Jobs was like a brother, and even offered him money to start a new company after Jobs was ousted from Apple. But with others, not so friendly. He clashed publicly with Bill Gates, calling Microsoft's software mediocre. He dismissed Google's founders as naive when they started competing in enterprise cloud. And while he respected Elon Musk, he never tried to emulate him. Ellison didn't want to be the most popular billionaire, he wanted to be the most powerful. Luxury by design, obsession with aesthetics. Beyond wealth, Ellison pursued beauty, but always on his terms. His homes aren't just expensive, they're architecturally exacting. He once halted construction on a mansion for 2 years because the curvature of a roof wasn't authentically Japanese. He imported antique materials from Kyoto, hired Zen garden masters, demanded ancient building techniques be revived for his estate. Even the Musashi yacht was designed down to the millimeter to reflect minimalist precision. To Ellison, wealth isn't about showing off. It's about building a perfect world, one line, one stone, one tile at a time. The Cloud King, Oracle's second act. In the 2010s, critics said Oracle was a dinosaur, too old to compete in the cloud era. Ellison disagreed. He launched a multi-billion-dollar push into cloud computing, competing with Amazon AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. It was slow, expensive, and doubted. But Oracle adapted. Today, it's a major player in enterprise AI, data security, and hybrid cloud systems used by banks, governments, and even militaries. Ellison's not the loudest in the room anymore, but he's still one of the most dangerous. And Oracle? It didn't fade, it evolved. The final game, what comes after everything? Larry Ellison owns an empire: land, sky, sea, software, sports. But in the end, what's left to conquer? He rarely gives interviews now. He spends more time on lanai, surrounded by nature, far from the headlines. Is he reflecting, plotting the next move, or quietly enjoying the world he built with his bare hands? No one knows for sure, but one thing's clear: Larry Ellison didn't just get rich. He rewrote the rules of power itself. From the Bronx to a billion-dollar island, this isn't a story about technology. It's a story about obsession and a man who bought his own world. The billionaire who bought his own world. He redefined ambition. He turned software into a kingdom and built a life few could dream of, and even fewer could understand. Larry Ellison, the billionaire who bought his own world. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into the world's most powerful people. Who should we cover next? Comment below and tell us whose empire we should explore next.